assertiveness is forcefully forcefully assert, forcefully state your point of view.
Your point of view, okay? And
Act in balanced state of mind. Don't react.
don't react. Act in balanced state. What are the other types of behavior? If you're not assertive, you're likely to be what?
Passive or aggressive.
Passive, aggressive. Okay. So aggressive will be what? So,
Aggressive would be showing no temper.
temper. Okay.
Unbalanced.
Aggressiveness of like taking punishment.
Okay. And passive will be what? Passive.
Well, just no reaction. It's just dead.
Just
Passive. Showing no reaction.
no reaction.
No reaction.
Okay. Fine. So what happens if when life is going smoothly, when people around us are friendly, helpful, cooperative, collaborative, then there is no problem at all, isn't it? But does it really happen in life like that everybody is cooperative, collaborative? No. Life reality is much different. We meet people who might try to take an unfair advantage of us. Okay. Who might make unreasonable demands on us. There will be conflict of interest. So in all such situations, your behavior becomes important. So as you all rightly said, there are three important ways of behaving. Our behavior becomes very important, and the three, you said the word reaction, I'll use the word responses. There are three behavioral responses we have, you see, which you all have very nicely said. Of course, there are, if you go into depth, there is passive, aggressive and all that, but that is getting complicated. Let's take it at a level where we can easily understand. So, one response can be passive, and the other word for passive is submissive. You can be submissive. The other response is you can be aggressive. And the third is you can be assertive. So, passive behavior is when you don't stand up for your rights. And even if you do it so weakly that it is easy for others to disregard you or get over you. You're passive when you don't express your views. As you said, you're dull. You don't express your views. You don't express your feelings on it. Okay? So, you're passive when you do that. Even if you express your thoughts and beliefs, you do it in such a weak and apologetic way, that it is easy for people to brush you aside. In other words, if you put it simply, it is passive behavior is passive person is a slave to his fears. He's always afraid. What will happen? How will people think about me? He wants to look good in the eyes of others. Okay. Take for example, supposing say your friend, let's put his name as Sunil, common name. He has borrowed some 5,000-10,000 rupees from you, and when he was fallen on bad days, he had lost his job, his wife was not well, etc. So you are a good friend and a compassionate person, you could afford, you gave him 10,000 rupees. Now it has been quite some time he has not returned that loan. It was a loan. Not given actually, you lent it to him. It's quite some time that he has not returned that loan. And you want money now to buy things. And Sunil is doing quite well now. He's got a job. His wife has become alright. She has got a job in a good bank. And they're quite well off. Now you want to buy things. But every time you meet Sunil, you do not directly ask him for your money. You indirectly talk about things that you want to buy, your needs, etc. That is being submissive. Not being able to express your genuine feelings, true feelings. Not standing up for your rights. Just come in front of this place here. Okay. So, what would you do if you're passive? Means whenever you meet him, you will indirectly talk about what you want to buy and what you need. But you will not directly ask for what is really yours, legitimately yours. You're not even being unreasonable. You're asking for your own money back. I don't know whether any one of you has faced this situation. I used to have this problem. If I lent you a book for 2 weeks and you didn't return it for 2 months, I used to feel shy and afraid to ask for my own book. I don't know that, but it used to. Now it doesn't happen to me. I've changed over the years. I've made myself more assertive. But this is something good. Leave aside money, even things like books, etc., to ask for your own book back. Okay. So now, aggressive behavior on the other hand is what? This is in brief passive behavior. Aggressive behavior is, as you rightly said, you stand for your right, but you do it in a way which hurts others, which violates others. Commanding, insulting, threatening, these are all signs of aggressiveness. Okay. Unsuitable and inappropriate. In other words, when you are assertive, you raise yourself up and put others down. You stamp on their feelings. No consideration there for their feelings. You demand for what you want. Even if you honestly believe in what you're saying, but you're asking for it or you're demanding for it is very inappropriate. You hurt people. For example, in this example we gave, if now you are an aggressive person, what would you tell Sunil?
What the hell are you doing?
Exactly.
The money.
Where's I need the money? Where the hell? If you meet him in a party, you might go and catch his collar and use words and maybe use stronger words than this.
Lowering the value.
Lowering the value of that person. Okay. You raise yourself up, but you lower the other person. Okay. Put the other person down.
I think both are wrong. Passive and aggressive.
I won't say wrong. You can say there are consequences of this behavior. Do you want to be a passive person? There are advantages in being passive.
It depends on
Situation. We'll come to that. But even otherwise, theoretically, there are advantages of being passive also. You diffuse a situation. A conflict is diffused because you avoid it. You avoid the conflict. Okay. And
We got a mobile in our pocket.
yeah.
Okay.
You know, if you're not passive, you face anxiety when अरे उसको पूछेगा तो वो क्या बोलेगा मुझे? You see, so that is the advantage of being passive, that you avoid anxiety of confrontation. You diffuse the situation because you don't allow it to come up only. But as against that, what happens? The passive person surrenders his life to others. He doesn't live life on his own terms. You see, that's why we have cases of so many women in India who are totally passive and submissive, either to their husbands or to their children also, or to society. And they are not true to themselves. So that is the drawback of being passive and submissive. You are right, both are not desirable, I would say. I won't say it is wrong, but certainly not desirable to be passive, excessively passive or submissive. Okay, we jumped the gun, we came to that. So in that situation, aggressive, as you rightly said, you may give bad words, you may threaten and shout, insulting tone. Okay. Now, if you are assertive, how would you behave in this situation? What is assertive behavior now? We've taken two extremes of passive behavior, not standing up for your rights, aggressive behavior, standing up but in inappropriate language, hurting, violating other people. Okay. So assertive behavior would be standing up for your rights, but doing it in such a way that you don't hurt others. This will lead to direct, honest communication. You're saying your communication will be better because it will become more direct, more honest, more open communication. Okay. Where you will say a point of view, but you will also understand the other person's point of view. So in a situation with Sunil, how would you behave if you were an assertive person?
I understand. So you also must be going through problems, but now I can see you're doing well, and I need some help.
I need my money back.
I need my money.
The language of the assertive person will be very clear. No wishy-washy language. But at the same time very polite. I need my money back. So please return it. He'll say please, thank you, all these words. But firm. Polite but firm. Please return it. And if Sunil shows some difficulty of returning it, then he is willing to work out a repayment program, including installment, very practical approach to the whole thing. So he's not insulting Sunil, not hurting Sunil, not spoiling the friendship, not creating unpleasantness, but at the same time firmly establishing his right to receive that money. Okay. So assertive behavior is, you can speak of your personal concerns without anger. He will say all these things without anger and without passivity also. Very straight man-to-man talk. Absolutely, okay. He'll stand up for his person. He'll act, somebody used the word self-esteem, you said, I think, not self-esteem, somebody here. To act, when I asked what is assertive behavior, somebody said that. Balance, yes. Yeah, so balance would be he'll act in harmony with his own self-esteem. But at the same time respect the feelings of the other person. In other words, if I put it very simply, assertive behavior is being true to yourself. Being genuine, being authentic. Being genuine, being authentic, being true to yourself. Communicating openly, directly, honestly, without anger, without passivity, etc. Okay? You get in touch with your own feelings. Now coming back to this, supposing you are a person who's generous, I'll give you another example of passive behavior. You are standing in the bus queue and you're waiting, the bus has not come. And then somebody comes, maybe youngsters come, St. Rivers College boys and girls or some other person, they come and stand in front of you. And if you're a submissive person, you will not tell anything. Now mind you, there are two things. You feel something, but you bottle up your feelings inside. You suppress your feelings, which is harmful. But supposing you are a very compassionate, generous person, okay, they may be in a hurry, let them go. Then you're not being submissive. You are being spiritual actually. Then you're not being submissive.
You get act
Knowingly, and you do it lovingly. अरे ठीक है हम भी ऐसे थे. उनकी उम्र में हम भी ऐसे थे. I was worse than this. Or whatever it is, you do that. Yeah. But the thing is that you bottle up your feelings, your frustration, your anger, you eat it up, but you don't have. And then what you do is that you turn to people next to you and say, आजकल के ज़माने, आजकल के बच्चे, and you give a big lecture on today's children. But you won't have the guts to just tell them politely, I've been waiting here, please. Okay. So, assertive behavior is getting in touch with your true feelings, being authentic, being genuine. Even in fact, when I talked about communication also, when I talked about adult ego state, I talked about this type of communication. You see, it's an adult behavior. Assertive behavior is an adult behavior. Okay. So, how will you recognize assertive behavior? Now, from your languages, could you make out?
Yes.
You gave some language, you gave. So, what will be the language of a submissive person? Body language is there.
Clear.
No, let's talk about passive person. Passive person will give long, winding explanations. Normally justifying, rambling statements, He won't speak to the point. He'll keep on saying, I did like that and therefore I did like that. He'll justify. A passive person will put himself down, always, and put others up and accommodate them into their views. I'm nobody, I'm useless, I'm hopeless, I can't do anything. These are the words a passive person will use. Okay. Passive person will have a lot of filler words. Well, okay. Will not even make one sentence clearly. He will have this type of filler words. Okay. I'm sorry to bother you. He will always be on the defensive, etc. In short, he'll have very low self-respect. Passive person has a very low self-respect. And therefore is always afraid of how he will look in the eyes of others. In fact, it is said that whatever action we take, it is only out of two motives. A, to look good in the eyes of others, and B, to avoid looking bad in the eyes of others. Normally we do it this way only. Okay. So a passive person is all the time using filler words, putting himself down, and using phrases that makes it easy for other people. Even if I'm getting late and you come and, no, it's all right. I can take the next train. So when I say that, it gives you a chance to take up more of my time. Though actually I'm dying to go, I'm already late. But I'm not telling that. Look, I'll meet you again tomorrow or some other time. Okay. What about aggressive person's language? So you are very nice role play, you did aggressive person. You may not be aggressive in your life, but you have understood that very well. Aggressive person will make excessive I statement. I am this, I am that. Because he's putting himself up. Okay. He'll use a lot of threats. You better do this, I'm telling you, otherwise you'll get into trouble. Okay, have you heard your boss talking? Can you go back and see how your parents might have ordered you, how your boss treats you? If they are aggressive persons, okay, he'll use threat. As an aggressive person, see, one common way of sign of recognizing aggression is that an aggressive person will state his opinion as if they are facts. So suppose you come and tell me Rohit Sharma should be taken, and I'll say, what nonsense, what rubbish. Because it is my opinion that Rohit Sharma is not a good. What it is, it's only an opinion. It's not a fact. Okay. So, but an aggressive person confuses facts with opinion. He passes on his opinion as if they are facts, And then he will put people down. If you come and tell something, are you joking? Are you crazy? You must be mad. He's not tackling the issue. He is using such language. Then what else will he do? He'll make a lot of use of words like, you ought to do like that, you must do like that, you should do like that. An assertive person may say, you may like to consider this, you may wish to look at it from this point of view. But an aggressive person will say, you should do this, you ought to do this, you must do that. Okay. Anger, putting people down, etc. Okay. So these are some of the signs of aggressive person. What are the signs of an assertive person? What his language will be? Assertive. First important point. Tell me.
But politely explain what is to be done.
He will be brief and to the point. No irrelevant things. He will be brief and to the point.
He will keep his own right without hurting others.
And that will be expressed in the language. He'll use well-considered I statement. I think, I feel, I want. Like a simple thing also. So let's say, what is the latest some movie? Jab Tak Hai Jaan. Is it, that's a movie? Race 2 or whatever movie. If I ask you, you see them, how is the movie? You'll say it's a very nice movie. Now when you say it's a very nice movie, you're giving indirectly credit to yourself that you're good enough to judge what's a good movie, what's a bad movie. But if you say, I like that movie very much, then it does not matter what the whole world says. You can say it was a hopeless movie, it was the Shah Rukh Khan's worst movie, it was Yash Chopra's worst movie. After making that movie, he saw it and he immediately died. You can say anything. But what did I tell you? I'm not fighting with you that it's a good movie. I'm saying I like that movie. So assertive person is likely to say, I want, I like. You go to a hotel, what do you want? Anything. A submissive person will say anything. There's no anything here. So you're having coffee? Okay, I'll also have coffee. I want to have a cold drink, but I can't have it because I don't know how you'll react. So I'm so assertive person would say, I would prefer coffee. I would prefer a cold drink. That means there's no compulsion on you to provide. Of course, some people like him, he came to my house one day. I asked him, क्या लेंगे? ठंडा गरम, चाय, coffee. He said, अभी चाय पियेंगे, बाद में coffee पियेंगे. जाने के पहले ठंडा पियेंगे. That's a different story altogether. But what I'm saying is that even in small things like that, we don't show our assertive behavior. Asking for what you want. What does it matter if somebody feels that dosa is not good and idli is better? और चार बजे कुछ टाइम है क्या इडली खाने का? I need it. It doesn't matter whether you need it or you don't need it. I need it, I want it. I'm not saying you're an idiot for not eating idli. I'm only saying I want. I like it. I like this picture. I like this book. I like his company. He'll make statements like that. Then he will not confuse facts with opinion. His words will be not this is right, this is wrong. He'll say, as I see it, it is like that. My experience leads me to believe like that. I understand it this way. Maybe you are right, maybe what you say is okay, but I think it is like this. Would you like to reconsider it? You won't say you should change your mind. Would you like to reconsider? There are words. Then assertive communication will also be adult communication. Remember I told you all about adult communication? Adult communication is asking open-ended questions. Can you tell me more about this? What exactly went wrong? Can you suggest some other ways? Can we look at it differently? That will be his language, assertive person. And assertive person also will be problem-solving language. How can we get around this? How can we convert this to our advantage? What exactly can we do now? Is there any other way we can solve this problem? These are the words of assertive. Okay, so we get a brief idea about aggressive, assertive and submissive behavior. Now what are the advantages of aggressive behavior? Any advantages?
Yes.
What?
Sometimes or some nasty element or something.
Right, we have to, yeah. So situational, yeah. If I have to say about assertiveness in one line, I would say it should be your ability to discern in what situation, how you should talk. But even if you're just aggressive, one thing is aggressive helps you to deal with some situations. It gives you a sense of power. Dominance over others, it gives you a sense of power. It also helps to release bad feelings like anger, frustration, etc. Okay. And it can help you to get work done. But the downside of aggressive behavior is that it will lead to unpleasantness. It will spoil relationships. You may create enemies. You listen to your parents today, they are aggressive because you are helpless. You are only waiting for the day when you can walk out.
So in a battlefield it is a necessary.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So you have to. Lever said that even assertive behavior, I'll tell you for example, I used to give an example. Say your daughter is sick. It's night time. No, your daughter is not sick. You're about to go to sleep and your neighbor knocks on the door and says, my daughter is not well. My thermometer is broken. Can you give me a thermometer? I want to use it. I'll give you. Tomorrow I'll buy a new one and return yours. So you are like a good neighbor, give the thermometer. That person uses it. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, the thermometer doesn't come back. Okay? And you see that neighbor's daughter playing in the society's compound, playing basketball, playing football with the girls and the boys. And now your daughter is ill and you want the thermometer. Take the same example. If you are passive, what will you do? Most probably you will not even ask. Or even if you ask, you will ask in a weak way. If you are aggressive, what will you do, sir? Go and shout at him. What will you tell?
What the hell?
Yeah, and what the hell? Now if you are an assertive person, you will ask politely and gently, I need the thermometer, can you please give it to me? Etc. Okay. Now I am telling you, this is normal behavior. But tell me, supposing you behave assertively to that person and ask for it, firmly and politely for the thermometer, and that fellow takes out a knife and says, Sala Lanbag mein aao batayega tumko. Pura lal, I mean he's a Shiv Sainik activist. Now will you be assertive then? It is better to be alive than to be assertive. Do you agree with me? So that is the situation. I tell you, I used to give an example because this is a real life example. When I was driving a car in one of my last assignments, I took out the car to go. I used to take out the car to go. It's a one-way street. But invariably lorries come from there. It's a small street like this only, to connecting the main road, off the main roads near National College. So by the time I go up to there, at least 2 lorries would come. Now can I say it's my right and go ahead? If I'm an idiot, I'll do that. It's better that I allow them to go park my car this way. What I could do if I'm an assertive person, if I feel very strongly about it, if I feel theek hai 1-2 minutes, but if I feel very strongly that it is, I can approach the police, I can get the traffic men to come there, I can get them caught, fined, etc. Then I can change the situation. But I cannot directly confront them. So it's very important that you discern properly. So in this case, so aggressive person will give you a sense of power. It will help you to release bad feelings, but it will create unpleasantness, it might create enemies, spoil your relationship. Your boss also, how many people respect their boss? You respect their boss only if he has more knowledge than you, better experience than you, treats you well. Otherwise you do out of fear. The moment you are transferred from the department or you change your job, you don't even bother to look at him. But if he has been a good human being, you feel like developing lasting relationship. Submissive, I told you already that you will avoid conflict. But assertive, so you want to be like that live your life according to other people's terms, then you be submissive. Okay, you surrender your likes and dislikes. There are people who surrender their careers, people who marry against their own wishes, etc. Big things and small things in daily living, they're always sacrificing, always giving up. As I told you, if you're giving up pleasantly, it's okay. You're giving up, but you are अंदर से कोसते अपने आप को. You're bottling up, you're hurting yourself, which is harmful for you. What are the advantages of assertive behavior? There are at least 8 to 10 advantages. You get what you want without offending others. Okay, fine. What else? You get respect. Very good. You respect the other person. You get self-respect. Relationships improve. Quality of life improves. Relationship with others, attachment with others will be but less stress. We are coming to that. Anxiety and stress. An assertive person will have less stress. A submissive person will always be having that stress. Aggressive also. Assertive person will have less stress. He'll be more confident, less punishing. An assertive person will be a good listener. He'll be objective. He will not jump to conclusions. He'll be smiling, he'll be balanced.
You will show others how they should treat us.
How others, yeah. And he'll be proactive. I gave you that example. Making things happen. Not grumbling like a passive person, but making things happen. Taking the steps necessary to make things happen. Okay. The communication of an assertive person will also be much better. Because his language will be clear. His language will be clear, his language will be positive, and his non-verbal communication will match with his verbal communication. There is good eye contact, good posture, good gesture, looking in the face, like you said, smiling and talking. Okay. But kindly remember that firmness will be there, always. So these are some of the advantages, as you said, helps to maintain self-respect also, better relationship, better quality of life, etc. Now, if assertiveness has so many benefits, why are we not naturally assertive?
Can I just query that are we saying that people are either aggressive, submissive, or assertive? A person can be
All. Yeah, fine. Yeah, it's a balance. It's balance, situation, people. I may be very submissive with my boss and very aggressive with my wife.
Sometimes
It happens to most men.
sorry,
They are very submissive before their boss, but they are very aggressive towards their wife.
it's a reaction.
Yeah, that's what it is. So it's not that they are watertight compartments. They're not, I agree with you, they're not. But normally are you assertive? Generally what is your this thing? Are you submissive? Yeah. Predominant, what is your this thing? Yeah. Situation wise you will change, but predominantly if you are submissive by nature, you will be submissive in most of your situations. If you are aggressive, you will be aggressive. In small things you will be aggressive. Even if a fly comes here, no, you will aggressively kill that fly.
That is because of that this is made by God or nature,
Whatever.
purposely fight and flight response.
Flight and fly, okay, fine.
Because we haven't evolved.
Yeah, madam, come here, there's place here. Here also there's place, come in front.
Yet we are under the evolution.
Evolution, okay.
And because of flight and flight response, still we haven't come to that stage that we use our neocortex,
Right.
logic and all this.
Exactly.
That's why naturally we are either submissive or aggressive.
Yeah, okay, fine. Let's analyze it a little better. What you have put is correct. Why are we not naturally assertive? First would be our social class. People who are rich, people who are educated, people who have got good privileges, positions, they tend to be naturally assertive because they have a certain amount of self-assurance. There's a certain amount of self-assurance. So if they meet strange situations also, they act with more confidence. Whereas most of us do not have that background.
But are you not confusing a certain sophistication for assertiveness?
Not so.
I find the class that you talk about can kill, can murder,
I-
but
I'm
they're
com-
so school that you let them go.
No, that's.
Someone from the street is not educated, he this, but you
No, what I'm saying, supposing you're flying, taking a plane or something, the plane gets cancelled and you have to go and talk to the person there. If you belong to the segment which doesn't have privileges, doesn't have those experiences, you will be shy to go and talk or afraid, apprehensive. But a person who has been flying, who has got good education, whose father is having good, is likely to have enough self-assurance to go and talk. There's a danger that he might become aggressive. He might become aggressive because he's used to getting things in life. So that is one reason why we are not, a person coming from some rural area to Bombay city, it's difficult for him to be assertive. He's overwhelmed by seeing things around him. That is one thing. Second is our gender. The way boys and girls are being brought up. Girls are trained to be submissive. They are always told that, do this. If brother and sister both are studying in 10th standard, brother will have all the comforts. The sister will not only have to study, she'll get more marks also eventually, but she has to make tea, coffee for the brother, etc. We keep on telling our daughters, our sisters to be submissive. So that is our gender. So what happens is that if the sister is encouraged, the girl is encouraged to be submissive, the boy naturally becomes conditioned to be aggressive. And if he becomes aggressive, he makes her more submissive. Then our class, our gender. Then our school also. I'm a teacher. I'm not a school teacher, but I've taught many school children also tuition. No teacher likes a student who asks questions. We all like obedient children because we don't want pain on. Yeah, I'm talking about India. Yeah.
The opposite in many other countries.
No, but there
They
also.
would say that this is what I know. I would like
Oh.
to find out that.
Yeah, but we don't like children who are disobedient.
We means India.
No, even we means human beings.
It's a cultural problem. Even though
Encouraging questions is okay. That might be cultural. But we really don't like people opposing us. We prefer children who are well behaved. We feel proud of. No, at home also you see, parents will praise the child who listens to them.
So, but naughty culture is a see, behaving is naughty.
If I come to your house and if your son is misbehaving and your daughter is behaving very well, you'll praise your daughter in front of me. Arey, meri Sheila to bahut achhi hai, sab baat manti hai, sab kaam karti hai. You tell me it doesn't. We are naturally encouraging submissiveness by praising people who are obedient. By praising people, by rewarding. In school you are rewarded for being obedient. Aren't you rewarded for being punctual? Aren't you rewarded for having good attendance? We are rewarding. Yeah. Now what is attendance also? The teacher may be useless. I know I am a teacher. I tell my students, I don't know why you are sitting in the class. If I was in your place, I would never sit in the class. But we don't like that. We don't want people, we call them strong-willed, stubborn. You see?
That is why Einstein is in the school days treated as a...
Yeah, that's right. So sir, yeah.
Not intelligent. Who is most intelligent.
And lastly, our culture, our religion also is responsible for making us submissive. Supposing your religion says if somebody slaps you on one cheek, offer the other cheek. It's going to make you submissive. You see, our culture also is like the Bible says, the meek shall inherit the heavens or the earth. So he is encouraging people to be meek, to be submissive. So these are 4 or 5 main reasons why we are not naturally assertive. Give and take a little bit, understand it in its context. Generally these are the things. Okay. Now supposing, let's go, we are not going to stop at understanding what is assertive. We'll try in the next half an hour or if 20 minutes to make ourselves a little more assertive. Now if you want to be assertive, you have to first recognize that there are certain things called assertive rights. Your constitution gives you fundamental rights. What are your fundamental rights? Briefly, liberty, free speech, free association, assembly. Okay, right. Okay, I made a list of 10 to 12 assertive rights. You can add, you can change it also. You may not agree also. We won't have discussion, but this is fundamental to become an assertive person. First right, I have the right to ask for what I want. Into brackets. Realizing that the other person has a right to say no. If I'm aggressive, I will insist. Assertive person will. I'll give an example. I went to attend a seminar, 2-day seminar, paid seminar. The charges were 8,000 rupees for 2-day seminar. I was keen on attending it, but I don't know, suddenly I got an idea. When the introductory lecture was over, I got up and I asked that person, I said, everybody gives me senior citizen concession. Airlines give it, railways give it, bookshops give it. Even government of India gives me for my income tax returns. Can you consider giving me? He said, yes, I'll give you. And straight away he knocked off 50%. So I was assertive enough to ask for what I wanted. I did the same thing for another seminar where I had to pay, and they gave me 10,000 reasons why they can't give me a concession. Now I have to accept that. I can't insist. I told them that they are giving, even some trainers are giving, so why don't you give? They said no. And then, when your brain is a wonderful creature. When you have made up your mind to say something, your brain will give 100 reasons to justify it. But we don't treat you as old and senior. You're young. We treat you as equal of everybody, etc. Whatever it is. So the right is, I can ask. There's nothing wrong. I can ask a girl to come for lunch or dinner with me. But I can't insist that she should say yes. So I have the right to ask for what I want, realizing that the other person has the right to say no. I'll go hurriedly. I have the right to make my own decisions. You agree as an adult? I have a right to make my own decisions and to cope with the consequences. So, ठीक है अभी उससे शादी किया न कर अभी. Stay with that person. Okay. I have the right to make mistakes. Agree? Okay. I have the right to change my mind. Some people feel that for a lifetime you are finished. Once you have said something, no, I have right. I have a right to my privacy. Would you insist on that right? Okay. I have the right to be alone and independent. Will you agree? Okay. I have the right to choose what I want in life. Okay, simple right. I have the right to be me. Just be myself and not copy anybody else. I have the right to express my feelings appropriately. I have the right to disagree with anybody, including the scriptures, including the holy man. I have the right to disagree. I may be wrong, that's all right, but this is my opinion. I have a right to my opinion. I have a right to say yes or no without feeling guilty. That's important. I feel guilty if I say no to somebody. Somebody asks me for money, I say no, and then he forgets it, but I keep on thinking about it. Till I worked on myself, and if I really feel guilty, I'll phone him up and go and give him the money. Yeah. But what we do is that we feel guilty. No, you have a right. There are some people who cannot relax also. The moment they relax, they feel uncomfortable. Arey kuch karta nahi, time waste. No, I have a right to relax when I need to relax. I have a right to say no when I want to say no without feeling guilty. Okay? We want to add some more rights to all this. I think this is fairly comprehensive.
Yeah, I think you have covered
Almost, but you can add your own rights. Depending on your situations, you can write. Now, if you want to be an assertive person, you have to exercise your assertive rights. Now, to exercise your assertive rights, what you need to do? There are 6 or 7 things about which you have to. First thing, you must know what exactly you want. I want senior citizen concession. No ifs, buts. I'm very clear in my mind. Whatever. I want to go out for a movie with you. Husband tells the wife, when I come home, at least for 15 minutes, please don't talk to me. I need that much time to regroup myself. He's very clear in his mind. For 15 minutes, leave me alone. Give me a cup of tea. Thereafter, we can talk. Or whatever it is, you see. In very intimate things also, you can know what exactly you want. And then second, say it, articulate, don't keep it in your mind. Don't do like that when your wife is talking to you. You make it clear what type of relationship you want, etc. But say it. Okay. Don't bottle it. And third point, say it as soon as possible. Don't put off. When you defer, the more you put off, the more you delay, the more difficult it becomes. You tell something, I didn't like what you did yesterday. I expected that this is what you would have done. Whatever you have to say, be clear. Okay. Then be specific, as I told you. I want concession. I want my book. I want that 5,000 rupees which I lent you. I'm giving you 3 days time. I need that money to buy a ticket to go abroad, or whatever it is. You don't have to justify. But if he's a good friend, you can give convincing reason. Okay. And it is important when you ask for all these things, as you all said, be relaxed, be balanced. Be relaxed and look relaxed. Don't be worked up. An assertive person is not worked up. Aggressive person gets worked up. Be relaxed. And non-verbal communication. Have eye contact. Look at that person when you ask. Don't look down and look here and there. Don't laugh nervously. Many submissive people laugh now. That money I gave. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? No, this shirt is slightly. No. Clearly you say, I want to buy Peter England, buy 3, 2 free. I want to make use of that. Please give me my 5,000 rupees. That's very clear. Don't laugh nervously. Okay. And lastly, one more thing about aggressive persons they are sarcastic. Don't be sarcastic. An assertive person is not sarcastic. देखा है बहुत लोग ऐसे हैं किसी और का पैसा लेके मौज मजाक करते हैं. Why do you have to tell him all that? Tell him straight away you want your money. Okay. Now are you ready to roll up your sleeves and become assertive? Last point. So you decide now. I've got a questionnaire. Shall I give it to you right now? There are about 30 questions. Please answer it immediately. Don't reflect. Some of the question is, do you hesitate to tell somebody to stand in the queue? Go back in the queue or stand. Something question like that is a simple question. Immediately you say yes or no. Don't think what is the ideal answer. Do you understand? Don't think what is the ideal answer. What I should do. What I am at present. Okay. And we are not going to check your scores or anything like that. It is going to be your paper, you keep it. I spend money to Xerox it. So please value it. Please take one and pass it on. Start ticking off. We won't check back. I promise we won't check back. You got it, ma'am? You want? You cannot take it, don't get scared. Come on, be assertive, do it. Sure. There's nothing to judge. See, I'll tell you one thing. Every yes you write there
Yes or no?
means you're not assertive in that situation. And then you have to work to convert that yes into no. Do you find it, somebody the question is, do you find it difficult to start a conversation with a stranger? And you say yes. That means you're not assertive. I want to talk to you. You're a stranger. But I don't talk to you. That means I'm not an assertive person. Okay. So if you want to change it, next time, then if you can wait for 5-10 minutes, madam, we'll complete it. This should be over in 1 minute, 30 questions. If there's any question you don't want to answer right now, don't answer also. That's also okay for me. Finished? Yes? Just put Y and Y and Y is yes, N is no.
Right and wrong.
Huh?
Right and wrong.
Whatever you want. Yeah, it's your paper. It's going to be with you. You can tear it and throw it away also. मुझे क्या? I thought it.
Our own awareness.
I thought take home value will be higher if you do this. That's why I've done it.
Brother,
And they're very simple also, everyday life situations there. Keep it with you only. Okay, now what we need to do, since we'll finish by 5:15. Okay. So first decide firmly that you want to change. After going through this, you'll get an idea. Suppose out of 30, you marked more than 15 as yes, which means you might want to do some work on yourself. So you decide firmly that you want to change your behavior and you're prepared to take the steps. You're willing to whatever is required to be done. Then you analyze your behavior by answering this questionnaire, which you have done. The first 2 steps you have done, and you can judge for yourself where you are. Okay. Now what you do is, when you go home, you do, those of you are serious about becoming assertive. See, in the past 2-3 weeks, list out situations in which you have acted aggressively or submissively. Okay, any situation, the way you might have talked to your wife or your children, your boss, your neighbor. Okay, list out that I did that. Even I tell you, I used to be so submissive that if I sat in a bus, I took one seat, and then after 5 minutes if I found that the seat is not comfortable and there are so many other seats vacant, I would not have the guts or the courage to get up and go there and thinking, wo kya bolega, conductor kya bolega. So even if you have got that, please, you can see every day is a new day. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. So you can decide to change today. I tell you, I have changed over this. The reason I talk about all these things is that I've done it myself. Today I can change seats 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It does not bother me at all. Okay. So you take situations where you think you have acted passively or aggressively. Okay. Then next step would be, think about the dialogue also, the way you talk to the conductor, or you know, if you sit in a bus also, some people sit like this and some people sit in such a way that have you had the guts to tell that person, please move, give me also,
Sit properly.
sit properly. I was not able to do it. Today I can do it. Okay. Yeah. So and what is the dialogue, what he said, go through that situation. Now that situation is firmly in your mind, that this is the way you have behaved aggressively or passively. Now you get into alpha state. You know what is alpha state? Totally relax. We have done this relaxation, we won't do it now, but progressively relax whatever system you follow. Okay. Become very calm, quiet. Okay. Get into alpha. And in that state, visualize yourself behaving assertively. In the same situation as an assertive person, how you do. So see the dialogue, see your facial expression, see your eye contact, everything. And keep in mind 3 things important. Your voice. These are the 3 main components of assertive behavior. One is your voice. Clear, audible, well modulated. Not through the nose, not whining, not crying, not shouting, not too soft. Clear, well modulated and audible. Then your verbal communication. Your words, logically arranged. Okay, not using words which hurt and harm. At the same time, which convey your meaning very clearly. Okay, so concentrate on your words. Are you using proper language? Is it expressive? And most importantly for an assertive person, is it clear and is it honest? Does it reflect what you really feel, what you really think? Okay, and the third is your non-verbal communication. Your non-verbal communication will be appropriate eye contact, well-balanced posture, gesture, very congruent in harmony with your verbal communication. So these 3 things you concentrate on: voice, verbal communication and non-verbal communication. You do that, you are still not doing assertive behavior, you are still only thinking about how to do it. Then If you can take the help of a friend, you do a role play. Imagining and role play. In the role play, you actually take that situation and do it. We don't have time, otherwise we would have done role play here also. You do it and take feedback. And one thing, most of us don't like feedback which is negative. We like to be told nice things about ourselves. Don't be defensive. Supposing you give me a feedback, your voice was not so clear, supposing. And immediately no, that's because I had a sore throat. You know, kal raat ko diya, aaj subah 9 baje se lecture deta. I keep on defending don't do it. Accept that feedback. Only then you can improve. Accept it that your voice is not okay. Accept it that your eye contact was not okay. Accept it that your words you use were not fitting words. Okay. So now you practice. Then you select a low risk situation. Don't take a high risk situation. Don't go and fight with your boss, whether at home or in the office. Both the bosses, don't fight with them. Take a low risk situation so that even if you don't succeed, it does not matter. And see if you're getting comfortable. I'll tell you, in the beginning you'll feel very uncomfortable. If all your life you have been saying yes sir, it will be very difficult. Say for example, your boss is always asking you to sit late, and you have decided that when you have got work at home, you'll tell your boss politely, sir, not today. I'll tell you, it will take a lot of role play for you to do that. And actually when you do, you'll feel very uncomfortable. It's not easy because we love our comfort zone. You're so comfortable being aggressive or passive that you'll feel very uncomfortable when you become assertive. So keep doing the role, switch between role play and actual situations till you become very comfortable with your own assertiveness. That will be the new you, the new assertive you. Remember 3 things. Assertiveness is not a cure-all. It will not cure all your problems. Please don't think now I've become assertive. No. But you'll deal with situations better, you'll deal with conflicts better, your quality of life will be better, and most importantly, you'll be authentic and genuine. That's most important. Your life will be a true reflection of what you think and what you feel. You'll be authentic, genuine. So it's not a cure-all. Secondly, the ability to, I told you in the beginning, the ability to discern is very important while using assertiveness. You must discern which situation, how you must behave. This may not require assertive behavior, then don't behave assertively. Okay. And on when to behave assertively, how to behave assertively. And lastly, when 2 assertive persons meet, they will respect each other and agree to disagree. I know marriages where the man is an atheist and a woman is a firm believer, and yet they live happily. Nobody interferes. Neither she says sarcastic things to him, nor he says wild things to him. They live their life and they yet live very well. So you will respect each other. If you're an assertive person, 2 assertive persons, they will respect each other and they will agree to disagree. Okay, this is how you feel. It's your life, you lead it. Parents and children also, the situation will be so much better. Your colleagues in the office, your situation will be so much better. Why do you insist on seeing this picture? You know, I've seen today also in the office people are fighting. What is that Shah Rukh Khan latest picture I told you? Jab tak. Arey, एकदम useless picture, don't go. We'll go and see student of the year. That fellow says student of the year is bakwas. And they are fighting over it. Arey, bhai, you like to see student, you go and see student. You like to see Shah Rukh Khan, see Shah Rukh Khan. You can lead life and yet be friends. And yet get along well together. Okay, open to questions. Any questions? I hope you enjoyed the talk and you liked it.